massage, bring it back on.
So now, since few days, like news have spread that Australian government has banned some countries student to come here, and they have restricted or something. And many messages came on my Instagram that you make a video on that. But I personally feel that if I'm not the expert, I cannot say anything on that. So I thought like I should go with the expert and make a video for you guys. And now second thing came, like if I'm going to an expert, I don't want to go to any expert and go with whom I'm having a trust. I'm making my file ready to get permanent in Australia, to get all the visa document like everything filed up and properly. I am putting faith on a person. I want to show you that person only. So if I am having belief on them, that person can give you correct guidance, because I am blindly following him, his words. And also in the forma of Australian government, how it does. So he's Mr. Praveen, and he's a consultant, and he's an agent for immigration purpose and student visa purpose, and for the pathway for international students to get permanent residency in Australia. So I have given from my side, but I also want you to give your brief, what exactly you are and what position you are holding in terms of that former.
Yeah. Thank you, Fagun, for giving me this opportunity to talk to your audience. You know, I know it's a deep concern for many people who are trying to come to Australia, what the prospects are, what's happening and things. Before I do that, I'll introduce myself. My name is Praveen Kumar. I am working for Excel Global Services, which is in India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and in Australia, of course, where our head office is based. We do education and migration, and in India we process visas for US, UK, Canada, and Australia. We specialize in migration for Australia. And I'll need to say I'm not a migration agent, but we got a migration agent and migration lawyer in our team who give specialists. So any advice I give you is general in purpose. It's not like I'm giving you migration advice. So coming back to the question that Fagun asked, like I'll correct, you know, you were saying some countries are banned. It's not some countries in India. Some states are, a lot of universities don't prefer to take applications from states, which is sad. Like for example, Punjab, Haryana, and to an extent they are looking at even, you know, Telangana, Hyderabad, because of the number of fraudulent documents that are coming in place. So the sheer volume of these applications that are coming and are fraudulent, and the Australian government is taken aback recently by the news that nearly 700 people from Canada who got fake IELTS scores and other things were caught and sent back, and predominantly most of those comes from these states. Okay. And in a recent meeting with the immigration minister, he said, you know, he's talking to the Canadian authorities, and because Australia is a very lucky country here, everyone can do anything and have a very great life. So that is an inspiration for a lot of people to come here. But the Australian government want to protect the quality of who's coming. They want skilled people, they're more welcoming, but they don't want economic aspirants who can't even speak proper English. What can they do, you know? So that is the main reason for the it's not a government ban as such. Still hame visas aa rahe hain, you know, Punjab se, Haryana se, but not many universities or colleges are preferring unless they have an immaculate profile to take. And some universities are blanketly saying we don't want, because if they're getting 100 applications, usme 90-95% are fraudulent.
Okay. So how basically what parameters they have decided that these are the states we're not gonna take, and also how they detect that those are the fraud things, and if like 99% they are fraud, and there are some few who are genuinely crack their IELTS, genuinely score their academics, genuinely showed their experience in the various field. Still they will be banned, or they will be get off and they will be allowed to come here.
So, as I said, see, there is some universities and colleges have blanket ban on these colleges, these states. The reason is, for any organization to process a visa or application, it needs time and resources. If they are putting so much resources and they're not getting in order, what they said, we don't want to go into that market. So, but saying that, there's still some universities which are taking applications from Punjab, Haryana and Telangana. These are the states, mostly Punjab and Haryana. So there are, but if you are having gaps in your education and things, they don't want to take, so as Fagun mentioned, what about people who are fresh, they got a good score,
Yeah.
and it's the collateral damage. Sometimes it's impacting genuine students because all of these ungenuine work. And the government is also looking at ways where they want to regulate the industry, because there's a lot of cowboys in the industry जिनको कुछ पता ही नहीं है, वो सजेशन दिए जा रहे हैं, वीजा एप्लीकेशन डाल रहे हैं, because they don't have any ethics.
Okay.
And they're
So
putting,
now you are talking about the agents.
yeah, agents in these states or in outside Australia,
Yeah.
who don't have any concern for the student. उनको क्या है, मैं स्टूडेंट को भिजा दूंगा, इसको वीजा आया तो अच्छा है, नहीं आया तो मेरे को कुछ फर्क नहीं गिर रहा है.
Okay.
But it impacts the student. So the government is looking at ways how it can regulate this industry so that not anyone and everyone can get into this and start a business.
Okay, so basic idea is like they're gonna create certain parameters who can be agent and who can, like license kind of a thing.
Yes, absolutely. But it's very hard, because see, Australian government can't make rules in India or
Yeah.
in Pakistan, Bangladesh, whichever country. It's a hard thing, but they are looking at it. How and when it will happen, it's God knows.
Okay, so like a person who want to study here and they got everything and they belong to that state, now it's bit difficult to them, and it's upon Australian government or it's upon university. If few university has banned those states, still that person can apply for another university, or how it should be done?
Okay, so the thing is,
I just sorry to interrupt, but do you know which universities has like banned those things? Are they group
well,
A?
for example, we've got a very great application for somebody who's just passed their +2 and they've got 80%, they've got IELTS, all 8s. And I'm trying to get her a nursing admission. She's from Haryana.
Okay.
And she's trying to get admission for bachelor's. Like we approached Torrance Uni, they don't want to take that application because they don't want any applications regardless of what it is.
Okay.
So it's case by case basis. We still speak to the uni and say it's a good case, and you need to go and speak to experienced consultants, rather than anyone. Sometimes we go, अरे ये मेरे को चाचा को जानते हैं, उनको जानते हैं, but it doesn't work that way. You need to go into industry leaders who are thinking, it's not about your personal relationship. This is professional.
Yeah.
Like, see, if you're sick, you go to a hospital, go to the best doctor, and this is as good as that when you want. Why don't you want to go to the best people in the market rather than going to any others?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm getting it. But so now that person cannot go in Torrance, but if she applies for any other, like I just basically, because when I wanted to come in Australia, my goal was not go into the Torrance or Southern Cross University or any university like that, but I wanted to go in Group 8 university or level 1 university. I studied it from Latrobe, and after 6 months I met many of agents who said that why you are in Latrobe, why you want to do this, why don't you go to any other university and change the university and you can cut cost your fees, education fees. Then that moment I thought, like, I came here for better education. I don't know that one building will give me the same kind of education what whole campus Latrobe is giving me and offering me the environment. But still I was unlucky that 1 year of my education went into under lockdown.
Yeah.
But just wanted to know, like, I believe that CQ University, like I'm giving just few names,
Examples.
they have banned. But is the ban is also there for Monash University if person is applying for that?
As I said, there's no blanket ban as such. It depends on case by case basis. Like for example, EC Education Center Australia don't want to take any applications from Punjab.
Okay.
So it changes time to time, and they keep reviewing it every time. The best person to speak to when you're applying is to the person or your agent. Coming back to the question of, if you're applying for group 8 universities or reputed universities really improves your chances of getting your visa, because these are proven universities. They bring economic revenue, but also they have the best standards of education in the world. So that's why when you're applying for a degree or a master's, anything as such, look into group 8 like Monash, University of Adelaide. There's a lot of great universities in Australia, like University of Melbourne, La Trobe University, Victoria University. These are the ones if you prioritize. But the thing is, sometimes, like everyone, we come from middle class and low middle class families. We want to save money, but I understand that. But the chances of you getting a visa increases if you're in a good university, and that's also good for your career as well and everything. Like for example, if you study, if you're a Monash graduate, you got access to their job networks and other things as such, which will improve your things about getting placed in a job as well.
Okay. So now one thing is like clear, like better universities are more chances to get our visa grant. And do you think that if Australia has followed, like see the market, like Canada has removed 700 people, so might be Canada has also strict their laws and everything as Australia is doing it. So now if Australia and Canada is deducted, which other countries are open for Indian student and give the same kind of environment and same kind of education?
Yeah, very important question. So actually, there is a big review happening on the whole immigration system of Australia. So the government of Australia has asked for submissions from different organizations and individuals till December last year. So a lot of submissions have been made to overhaul the immigration system of Australia. So a lot of minds are working behind this. So I think in the very near future, the Home Affairs Minister is going to make some statements of things. There's a lot of committees have formed, a lot of things are happening. So this would be one of the biggest overhaul of Australian migration system in the past 10-15 years. So a lot of changes coming. And coming back to the question of what are the other options, see, I think the best countries to live, work and settle are like US, UK, Canada and Australia. So currently Canada has tightened up their belts, so has Australia. But at the same time, like UK and USA are quite lenient, especially UK, has been quite lenient at the time and giving a lot of visas. The visa success rate for UK is much more than Australia and Canada at the moment. But saying that, Australia, has the best living conditions in the Western world. You got the highest wages you work. Even if you're a permanent resident or a student, the minimum pay rate is $22. You don't get that anywhere in the world. You go to any country.
Yeah.
So saying that, if you're a genuine student looking to apply, I think Australia should be the prime destination.
Of course.
But again, Canada, UK and US are the other ones I really suggest that you need to look as alternative options.
Okay, so like when you say that Australia has the highest amount of paying per hourly rate, that he believes, I know, like when I came here and I was just a barista in a restaurant, like in a cafe, and I was earning 22. And at the same time, my cousin who was accountant in Canada, he was earning $19 per hour as a full-time professional job. So barista, coffee makers are earning more over here than the accountant full-time in Canada or USA anyway. So I completely agree on that. But because of that thing, people are putting false things on their paper and wanted to come here. So now, as per the agent perspective, I want to know that would you put your effort and time from those states, those who want to come here and they have genuine documents, and if you get inquiries, would you put your time and effort on that, or you certainly know that that person will be having difficulty to enter Australia?
No, as I said, Fagun, we still processing applications from these countries,
Okay.
but on a case-to-case basis, if they've got gaps, they're showing experience and things as such, we are not accepting that, because the chances of getting them an offer is very hard at the moment. But if you're a fresh student, you have no gaps in your studies, and you got good qualification, I mean good scores, and good IELTS results, we definitely would take those queries and work with them to get you an admission and a visa to Australia.
Yeah, so this all thing what you said, it's on the candidate, but now I also want to know, as per the parents expects, like what are the financial barriers, and what are the financial like steps they have to show to you and to the government to enter Australia. Like, because I know that also fraud papers has been shown in financial ways as well, and they are unable to pay second semester fees once they enter Australia, and then they take a one semester break and everything.
One thing, if you are a genuine student, your financial is good, your scoring is good in everything, no one can stop you to enter Australia.
Yeah,
That's also a thing.
absolutely. We have circumstances where, the thing is, the number of applications that are coming to Australia has beat all the expectations, all the records. Like the immigration minister recently told, they have processed 5 lakh visas in the past 1 year. 500,000 visas have been approved. But the thing is, they want to, as I said, we all like Australia, being in Australia, because of the standards that we maintain.
Yeah.
And they want to really regulate the quality of people that are coming to Australia. If we don't, then everything will be lost. And you see that happening in countries like UK, Canada and other things. So Australia still is welcoming, but to the genuine students. So coming back to the question that Fagun has asked me regarding what's necessary steps you have to take.
In terms of finance.
Yeah, in the finance, you need to have at least 3 months of genuine savings, which has to be shown by your parents or immediate family. That what are genuine savings is, your savings, that you have saved. They look into your parents' income. If there's a business income, they want to know the business statements, the tax returns. And if it's a fixed deposit, it has to be for how long and things like that. They need to show 1 year course fees. And if it's a single person, it is $21,000 is the bare minimum as a living expenses, plus one year course fee. For example, if your course fee is $16,000, so दो semester का course fee हो जाएगा $32,000, and the living
51.
expenses is 21.
Yeah.
So like 53,000 plus you need to have a return ticket cost, which is about $2,000. So around $55,000 you need to have in your account at least for 3 months. But some universities are going to the length of getting 6 months, savings. It's a bit hard, but if you can get a student loan, educational loan, that makes it much more easier, because that is granted and things like that. Then you don't have to show, but they'll still look into your income, your parents' income, your tax returns and things as such.
And also I noticed, like when I was applying when I was in India, they make us write SOP which says that after certain amount of years and after getting some education from country in Australia, I'm going to come back. They put a proof on that thing.
Yeah.
So like basically 99% in our brain there is an idea that no one wants to go back once they reach to this place, which is a falsifying their kind of a visa what they are giving, which is 2 years of studies, and now it's 3 years of staying for a work permit and getting experience at an international level. So what are the ways the students can write their SOPs in a way that it looks, and genuinely student should also have in their mind that I'm going there for studying and getting my 3 years of international experience and coming back to India or whichever country they are applying for. So how you look on that aspect?
A very valid point, Fagun. You really understand. So the main criteria for Australian student visa application is, the main criteria is called GTE, which specifically stands for genuine temporary entrant.
Yeah.
That means a genuine temporary, you're genuinely coming for temporary reasons, that is to study and go back. So because law can be very tricky, and everything that, to grant a visa and everything goes according to the Australian migration law. And especially in that there is, there is some articles, in the law it says that when you're writing your statement of purpose, the GTE, you need to ensure you're convincing the case officers to say that your entrance is not to come and settle here. Okay, though you are settling or not, but that is your primary motive is to come to Australia, is to study, and you got enough funds and you got enough ties to go back. Not like everyone wants, so anyone can continue, not to discriminate. There are a lot of, countries where they have economic problems, such as Sudan or something, or any country, I'm not saying Sudan is bad as an example, but any.
Just giving an example.
If there is no GTE criteria, they just want to come and settle here.
Yeah.
But how would Australia able to sustain the quality of life if everyone comes here? So, and this has been raised by a number of people and make submissions to the immigration minister as well as the immigration department. There's a specific section called Ministerial Act, or Section 69, which gives a lot of authority for the case officer to make a give or not give a visa. That is big. A lot of rejections are. When you look at the rejection rates, they always quote that and give a rejection. Even you say, oh, you submitted this, but I still don't think you are genuine. So things like that. And also a lot of people have raised, a same question.
Yeah.
I was in one of the meetings where we are talking to the government, where we asked, like we were 10 people from different organizations and providers. We say, we all came as one stage as a student and we all settled here, we pay taxes, we do all the right things. Why we have to lie? But the law is very clear, it's all as per the law. You have to show your maybe it will change, but you don't even need to quote that, I'm coming here. And if you do that, there is a chances of visa rejection.
Okay. And also related to one more question related to SOP, I have also noticed when a student go to an agent when they are in their home country, they want to go for XYZ course, but agent says, but rather than choosing this XYZ, why don't you go in that? You have more visa chances to get that thing. So now a student would be, let me go Australia, take that course, and then they study without any willingness to do that course, and after 6 months they are changing their course, and universities just because they are not happy with that course since first day, and now they are going to the course what they wanted to do. So how you look at that scenario? Because I feel like that will also taking count on government, that people like students are changing their university, changing their course from this region who are coming here, rather than they are coming here, let's stop them. Like, do you think it is one of the thing because of the banning that?
Yeah, again, very, very good knowledge and knowledgeable questions. Currently, if there was an article in Age last week which says, specifically from India, out of all the students who came last year from India for higher education or masters, 40% have changed. That's a big, I think there's 70 odd thousand people came. 40% some people didn't even enroll. They just came here, they disappeared, joined into diploma courses and things. So that's a huge concern for the universities, because that shows they are not GTE, they are not genuinely temporary entrance. Because in SOP, when you write, you're saying you're doing this
Want
course.
to do this course and everything.
It's a tricky problem, because currently there is 87% rejections from India, Nepal, Pakistan for vocational courses.
Okay.
If you are applying for a diploma or something, there's more chances, there's 90% chances that it will be rejected rather than you get it. So that is putting a lot of pressure on people like the agents. The agents, what they say is, Fagun came, मेरे पास Fagun आए हैं, इनको वीज़ा दिलाया तो वो बोलेंगे 4 जने को, अरे Praveen के पास गया, हमारा वीज़ा है. I do all the right thing. Even if it's a diploma, even if it's a bachelor's, I do apply the same way. My ethics are the same. But I know if I come and he wants to study diploma, मैं उनको diploma suggest करूँगा, and I know there's 90% rejection chances. Why would I encourage him to do a diploma, though he wants to do a diploma? So I tell go for bachelor's, तभी आपको visa आएगा. Otherwise, if I suggest you wanted to go diploma डाल दूँगा, visa reject हो जाए. Then Fagun asks a question, because somebody goes from somewhere. Out of this 10%, Fagun's friend went to XYZ and he got the visa. Then Fagun starts thinking, Praveen ने कुछ गलती किया है, उसको आया है, मेरे को क्यों नहीं आया? But the applications might be the same. What the documentation we are applying is the same. It's just so that's why as an agent in India, they are thinking that why should I have my reputation? So that's why they are suggesting for thing. And once the student comes here, because usko to diploma karna hi hai. So, but this has become a big problem. And recently, again, as I said, there's a lot of discussion going between the industry and the immigration department, where they're saying is you need to balance between giving vocational visas and like currently there's 70 to 80% success rate of higher education visas. Like if you come for bachelor's or master's, there's 70-80% chance you get. But if you go to the vocational courses, 10 to 13% chances. So there's a huge gap. So until the government brings some balance in it, I think it's not an easy thing to resolve as well, because the government looks at it in the perspective as somebody is thinking, rather than they're paying 60,000-80,000 fees, they are coming here on a $20,000-$25,000 fees for 2 years. They'll make that within 6 months.
Yeah.
So the government has to balance. It's not an easy.
Like basically, like when we look that we want to go to some country and they are giving you visa, it's a pure business for that country. Like you are bringing outside economy to their country. So they want that you go to the premium universities, you pay premium thing and you do the premium courses. I'm not saying if when you are going for a premium thing, you won't get premium. You will get premium experience. The campus, the locality over there, the teacher, the people around you, you will see the difference going to that university and going to a building university which is running on the Flinders Street thing. So I completely agree that when you pay more in terms of education, you will get returns more, because Latrobe has a network of students, alumni, that they help the present student to get into the industry. They make them industry ready and everything. So I believe so do Monash would be having, Uni Melbourne would be having.
Absolutely.
But if I talk about any colleges, not university, that's small colleges which is run in the building, and so they don't have that thing, because their pass out students are also immigrants. They are also not in the industry. They might be earning good money, but they are not into the industry. They might be choosing the hard way to do that.
Absolutely, definitely going into a bigger university, a reputed university, gives you more pathways, more career oriented help. With their alumni who are well settled. They do a lot of networking with the industry groups as well, where you can get placements. So very valid. But also, at this point, I want to suggest something. Again, I say I'm not a Mara agent. I'm an education consultant.
But I'll just want to put, like, when he says that, because he can't say that he's not an agent, but he's owning a company, and
So
under him he has a...
Yeah, so I'm the director of Excel Global Services. I've got a lot of Mara agents, migration lawyers who work under me. Because in Australia, if you are not registered with OMARA, which is Office of Migration Administrative Review, the body, if you don't have the degree, you can't give migration advice. It's an offense.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who do that. So that's why I'm specifically saying that. I'm not, but I'm only suggesting as a consultant, because a lot of people are coming for education, but this is the boom time for people who are looking to migrate to Australia. Sometimes I give advice, sometimes, they're looking, I want to come a visa. I see their profile suits for getting permanent residency directly. And I tell, why don't you consult a migration lawyer for permanent residency? No, हमें तो student visa में ही आना है. This is like I want to give someone gold, उनको तो पितल ही चाहिए.
Nah, but
इनके हाथ में सोने का कटोरा दे दो तो please वहाँ
नहीं,
Absolutely as such.
पर वो क्या है पता है, इंडिया में मेंटालिटी है कि हम किसी को बोल रहे हैं ना कि मैं वहाँ पे सेटल हो रहा हूँ तो बहुत पैसे दिए होगे तूने, पर वो उनको वो नहीं पता कि सेटल ही हो रहे हो जाके. पर वहाँ पे अगर बोले कि कोई पढ़ाई करने जा रहा है, ओ वो पढ़ेगा आगे जाके, वो that's a mentality over there.
So the point that I wanted to raise is currently there's a migration boom happening in Australia. So the government in the last financial year and this financial year given 35,000 skilled visas. Everyone wants one, and they are giving 35,000 extra chances.
But Praveen, sorry to say that, but because of that, my visa has been delayed. My skill assessment is not happening because of that, because they are doing overseas skill assessment for Southeast people, for engineering and all that.
And it's like not only from India people are coming, they're coming from Colombia, Mexico, Spain.
Yeah. Again, there's whoever are smart are doing it.
Sometimes UK people are also coming to like my
Absolutely. So if anybody is come from an engineering background,
Yes.
has got English, the other alternative for them is to apply for permanent residency rather than applying for a student visa, because this is Australia has a lot of skill shortages for skilled migrants. So if you are an engineering student who's got good engineering, and then you are able to get 7 or 8 in IELTS or PTE, you should really consider applying for permanent residency. And Fagun rightfully says, see, everyone unko apne se matlab hai. Because there are so many applications, it's taking time, but it's first in first serve basis, but eventually you'll get it.
Yeah,
at this stage.
I'm waiting. I'm like, it's 1.5 years. I'm doing my job ready program, and now in their book it shows only 7 months. Like I'm on stage 2. Like I don't know why they are delaying so much.
Because of the number of applications, recently, the immigration department, just to approve the visas and other things, I think they've recruited more than 100-200 people. So the sheer number of applications have drastically improved. It's gone way berserk after the COVID. Everyone wants to migrate, and suddenly, whatever happened in COVID, there's a huge number of vacancies everywhere. Whether it's a cleaning industry or whether it's IT companies or whether it's immigration, everywhere a lot of people have changed, and that's why you're talking about 2 months. ACS, Australian Computer Society, which does the skill assessment for IT professionals, the current is 12 weeks. Previously, it used to be 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And VET-SS, which looks into a lot of other professions, we got one assessment, it took 8 months. So it's hard wait, but as I said, but if you are looking to migrate to Australia, you got good experience in IT, engineering, other things, this is the best time to apply. Though it's delay, but this is the best time, because next year, because June, July, after July, they'll be releasing the new financial year quota where they have 35. They'll go, probably people like Fagun and all will be PR and, very soon.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
the NSW laws, like
Sorry?
changed laws of NSW for PR and everything. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so,
You need work experience, you don't need anything.
yeah, because, for example, what you asked, Prateek, was about New South Wales state nomination 491 or 190 visas. They have certain quotas, every state is being given certain quotas of visas that they have to give every financial year. And those quotas, the states look into this, हमारे को ये skills से हमारे को engineers चाहिए, doctors चाहिए, nurses चाहिए, they put in. And when they did that, they put criteria, हमारे को इतना experience चाहिए, इतना चाहिए, वही लोगों को देंगे. But what they realize, they put it so stringent, there are not many people who are meeting that criteria. And then what they realized is they still have to give these visas because they really need those people. So that's why they reduce the quality. Even in Victoria, Victoria, you had to, for example, the state nomination 491 visa, which is a provisional visa for when you live and work in regional. They were saying, you have to live and work in regional areas to get a 491. But now they relaxed it, even if wherever you are living, even in Melbourne, you can apply. Previously, that was not the case.
Yeah. And also, like, now I, like...
Fagun was also, sorry to cut, Fagun was also happy, like, this is the situation now, I can live in this.
No, I told you, right? Yeah. I told you, because I like to see, I don't want to share my knowledge with the people because I'm not the expert. That's why I came to you. Most of the answers what you have given me, I have read somewhere and somehow. But I want a perfect person, reliable person to answer this, because I have seen so many YouTubers, they come up and they say that this thing happened in Australia, and they just say bluntly, which is half 70%, they are not saying with the correct terminology what you are using.
Yes.
And with the knowledge what you say right now, which gives more information to them rather than any influencer.
Yeah. No, I've came as a student. I've been in the country for more than 23 years, Kuch to sikha hoga isliye, And we run a very successful business, and the mantra for our business is we don't promise anything that we can't deliver or we are not 100% sure about. And that sometimes it takes time, but and it's a big industry, lot of questions, answers mere ko bhi pata nahi hai because the rules are changing so drastically. And what Fagun said is another thing is very right, because sometimes you see people who have half knowledge, they really speak more confidently than people who have knowledge. Arey mere ko to pata hai yaar ye ho raha hai, They know more than the immigration department itself.
I've seen, and then people get 100,000, 200,000 views, and student blindly follow that influencer, but that person is doing Uber Eats over here, nothing else.
And that's why, and even lot of students I've seen, unko jo sunna chahiye, whatever they want to hear, those are the only things they hear. Agar aap idhar se bolenge bhai ye theek nahi hai, the immigration agent or the agent education is putting in the wrong direction, they don't want to listen to you because they only want to listen what they want to listen, So half, people without much knowledge giving advice is a big problem, because I get a lot of students, they come, bhaiya, ye aisa ho raha hai, I said, who tells this? You said, no, usko pata hai. And I said, see, at the end of the day, I can only tell you, how can I convince you? If there is a fake news, there is no evidence for this fake news, but you want to believe what is fake, I can't help it,
Yeah, I have two more questions. I'll give you second last question first. Like, how now I just want to know how your organization can help someone who want to come from India to studies over here. So where your organization enters to help people, like students, to enter Australia or Canada or UK or USA? How?
So as I said, हमारा main motto है कि we are here for a longer term. We're not here to 2-4 साल सब पैसे बना देंगे. So for us, reputation is very important, and reputation comes with with the promises that we deliver. If a student comes, they blindly believe and putting their efforts in us. So we've got experts in each country, like US we've got. In India, we've got Ashwin, he looks after, got Gautami, and who looks after, and for UK, we got Narendra, who looks after that department. Like for Australia, we've got teams here, we've got teams in there. So the thing is, the way we deliver is, you come to us, we lose a lot of business, don't mind, we lose a lot of business because we tell the truth. Because at the end of the day, I rather lose the business by telling the truth rather than to tell the student or the parent what they want to hear, and such to aaj nahi to kal aana hi hai. And then if we lie, it comes back, and we don't want that, because and our growth is so much, like Fagun itself knows, he refers so many students to us.
I'll just hold in between. There is one more, my friend who was having a court hearing and he came to you and you said, nah, I can't help you in this. You have
Yeah.
to stick to your agent and definitely he will help you and put a
As I
application.
said, we are here to make money, but for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons, and say, जो भी उनको सुनना है, business आना है, we don't do that, because there are students who come to change the college after their third semester, and I tell them, what is wrong with you, in one semester you go, you study, and your course is finished, you can do PR. There are students who came to us, and we don't make money for giving that advice, but I feel very comfortable. I can sleep in the night because I was a student at one stage, and that can be detrimental to their whole life. And there are agents who take advantage of that and say, like imagine, studying, masters, you've completed 3 semesters, you're struggling with the fees, then you say, and you completed it, you spent so much money. You go to agent, they said, no, diploma kar lo. I said, no, go and beg, borrow, and whatever happened to go to the uni, discuss and get it resolved. And I see some people who are in that situation because of my good advice, they are PRs now. Otherwise, they would be still struggling as a student, or maybe they wouldn't even complete their studies, because एक बार फीस पे करना ही मुश्किल है, और दो बार दो डिग्री को पे करना, it is stupidity.
100%. So that where you can help and guide my viewers basically. And one more thing, like when we come from India and when we are over here there is not much stream like commerce, science and everything, but when people most ofly coming from India or country like India, Nepal, Pakistan, they come after +2, means 10th and 11th and 12th. So 11th and 12th is a deciding time when they are going into streams like science, biology or commerce or arts. So give me few courses what they really can do in Australia, because Australia is itself its own economy. Australia doesn't matter with the world economy. Yes, there will be some influence if world is going through recession. Australia will have some influence of that, but Australia has own economy, own ecosystem, so they need own their people. So how, like if a commerce person want to come here, which are the top 3 in your mind courses for science and biology and arts as well, if you can tell people who want to come here?
Saying that, Australia was the only Western country which didn't go into recession during the GFC, when the global financial crisis happened, and even during the pandemic, Australia was the only country supporting its students. They were paying
Money.
Grants and other things, providing things. So Australia is a very, very great country, and that's why like as I said, if there is a country that you want to upbring your family, Australia is one. And a lot of students only think about now, but they don't think through the future, because Australia has great systems like free education for their children. They've got free medical, and the highest wages. They attract a lot of things. And coming back to the question of what Fagun has asked, what are the courses that, because see, a lot of students aspire in the future that they want to migrate to Australia, and Australian migration system is based on mostly skilled migration, apart from family migration and other things. And skills are mainly, the shortage of skills are in engineering, IT, health, like nursing, doctors. There's a huge shortage of those, because also another thing about Australia is bigger than India, and the population would not be even comparatively smaller than Punjab or Haryana or even Hyderabad.
Gujarat,
Gujarat, So that's why there's a lot of scope for growth in this country. That's why if you concentrate on those ones. So a lot of people approach me and say they have done MBA, and I said there's not much value for MBA, because Australian system, as I've seen, it works most on experience rather than just a degree. Like in India, or in the South Asian countries, you have this management degree, so they get this management roles. Here it's not like that. You might be working as a cashier for so many years, then you get promoted as a manager. You work for, not just because you have a degree. I think in my career, I worked from washing dishes to where I was earning $1,000 per day as a business analyst to a businessman that I am now. 99% of the times, I've never got a job because I've studied in Swinburne or Monash or any. I've studied in Swinburne, Monash, CQ and all, but nobody gave me a job just because it was all because of my experience, because of my talent. It was not just based on the degrees.
Okay.
So, but coming back to the question, if you are studying IT, like nursing, health courses, engineering courses, and currently there's a lot of shortage for teachers and early childhood early childhood educators as well. So, and time and again it changes, but yeah, like management and still accounting hasn't got any scope at this stage. Even there are a lot of demand for chefs. There's lot because the population is booming. There are new restaurants are coming. The hospitality industry is going through the roof. So even skilled people like carpenters, is shortage. Painters, So there are various skills that you can do, but my top priority is because most of our students come after they finish their bachelor's for masters. So if when you after 12th or when you're in 12th, think about doing maths, going to science and tech. That's where the future is.
Yes, definitely. So even I heard from Prateek. Prateek, you were talking about something social.
Social work.
Yeah, Masters of Social Work is also good because especially in Australia. Because the government, there's a lot of social welfare programs, so a lot of health workers and social workers are required. But if you do courses like nursing, okay, if you go to any country, it has a huge scope. If you become a doctor, there's a huge scope. You're an IT professional, you go anywhere. So, but social, work, Australia-wide, it's good. But I'm not sure whether you go to a different country and things, how would it be? So these are the things, because when you're young, you have to look at perspective of where it has maximum coverage for you.
Okay. Yeah, it was a very fruitful conversation with you. And hopefully I feel like we'll keep doing this. And like if we get any news or anything we want to post, definitely we'll have this kind of session. And to the viewers, I just want to tell you that if you are having everything good and valid, please apply and try your luck. At the end, if you are doing nothing wrong will happen to you.
Yeah. Wish you good luck with your future. And as I said, our company name is Excel Global Services. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook,
I'll put
TikTok,
that description and
reels and everything. Yeah, Fagun could put some reels. And if you have any questions, you can contact us through Fagun. And I really congratulate for all the good work you're doing to educate the students who want to come. Well done, Fagun.
And I'll be putting everything in the description of this video, and also we'll run a headlight for the number and everything. So that will be a great help to the students as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you all.
It was a